I don't know why, but it genuinely didn't. They took the activity seriously. They answered fully, and this was almost, I don't have the full results from every test centre, but in the UK certainly almost 100%, which actually surprised me. And the other thing which was very interesting was that many of the players, and this was an observation from the teachers, genuinely enjoyed the replay session. So the replay session being the session where they talk about the answers that they gave. So they're not playing at that point, they're just talking, and sometimes talking about quite difficult things, talking about how they feel about things and so on. And actually, the teachers were saying this has really given them a chance to talk. It's given them a forum to talk, and they enjoyed it. And again, that's a really, really positive kind of bit of feedback from us. Just one or two comments from the kids there. They liked the characters in the background, the cityscape was really cool. They liked the fact that it was different to other games. They like there's a little mini game where they get to shoot. They like that. And flying and driving and so on. So generally the feedback was really good from the kids' perspective. For the experts, again, the feedback was very good. They kind of were talking about how it genuinely provided a very new approach to engagement. And in relation to how they usually interact with these kids, they said that within the replay session, there was a genuinely noticeable increase in the openness of the exchanges and the way in which the children sort of opened up to them. In some cases, they were finding things out about the young people that they already knew. I mean, often the player and the teacher or expert had a prior relationship, so that they would have worked together before. So maybe in some cases they would find out things they already knew. But generally, they would always find something out that perhaps attitudes, beliefs, or experiences that the child has had that they didn't know. And so they found it useful from that perspective as an assessment tool. What was perhaps slightly more exciting from our perspective is that the relationships between the player and the teacher or the expert genuinely began to change just after one session. The teachers were saying things like, the child that I played with the other day, he comes up to me in the corridor now at school and he talks to me, he's more open, he's more engaged, which was great. It created that kind of bond between expert and player. And generally there was a lot of excitement when I ran a session a couple of weeks ago in the school in London. A lot of excitement about what this could be. Some improvements, of course, some things that didn't work well, one or two of the content activities that needed to be changed and so on. But a lot of excitement about what it could be, what kind of content there could be there, genuine interest in the idea that the teacher or expert could configure the content of the game for a particular user for that particular user and then run through it with them. And also some suggestion that we could create different game scenarios, which is something that we could take on board. Just again, one or two comments there from the teachers involved. None of the kids moaned. I mean, apparently sometimes they get these kinds of things in the school and they just say, "Ah, it's boring." They didn't. They said it's a new way of making them think. As I said before, for relationship building, it's brilliant. It's not just talking, it's playing. So again, I mean, in my experience, teachers can tend to be quite cynical about all sorts of things, and I come from a family of teachers, so I know. And actually, they were very, very enthusiastic about the potential for this within the school context. So, just to finish off, the next steps. We're looking as a consortium, as a group of companies, to further develop the gameplay. There are a lot of changes that we want to integrate to the next phase of the game. Look very much towards creating a platform for configuring the game in different ways, developing customized content for different groups. We do have, as I've said at point 4, we've had some interest from a number of different organisations in different contexts, not necessarily related to behaviour, but other types of contexts. I'm talking to a university in London about using this for autism, to address, to help autistic children. A content management interface, so this is what I was talking about, configurability of the content and so on. The way that it's built, I won't go into it, but the way that it's built allows us to insert different types of content relatively quickly and easily. Going back to a point one of the previous speakers made about kind of trying to come up with a way of creating new games quickly and cheaply. you know, this is the sort of holy grail. Doesn't take a year to create a new game. Maybe it takes a week or 2 weeks. Within the context of keeping the game in looking and functioning in a similar way, we can inject new types of content relatively easily. And our hope is to get a pre-commercial version ready for further testing very soon. And if all goes to plan, then we may have a product launch in Europe and possibly the USA later this year. So, if you want to have any more information, we have the project website, which is there. We have a YouTube channel, which I fear will also include my speech just given in a few days' time. So please go there. The first website has all of the contact details for the partners, for myself and for Francisco as well, who's the project coordinator. So if you want to get in touch with us about anything, please do. So that's it. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take them.